There it is.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Ed Parcaut here with Mike Kelly, and we're Real Estate Jerky Daily. 3 minutes late. What are you going to do? We were just kind of bullshitting about things that are going on.
Crazy things. Taxing the poor and feeding the rich.
So we'll get into that in a second.
Yeah.
Let's talk about news today. The only news we have today for me is the Mortgage Banker Association released their mortgage application data for last week, ending 8/23,
and
showing that overall application volume increased by 0.5%. So 2 more went. Applications to purchase a home were up 1% for the week and down 9% for the year over year. Refinances decreased by 1/10 from the previous week and are 85% higher than a year ago at this time.
Wow, 85%. That's a big percentage.
Well, that's like, so you did 50 back then. Now we are doing 97.
Right.
Or whatever it is. I'm not going to calculations today. All right. Before you get into your real estate, I want to talk about, get into real estate, and then we'll talk about the.
You sure?
Well, it's going to be about real estate, so I might as well just do it after you.
We'll shift. Woohoo, look at that. Made it as big as I could.
Yeah, so
I just said, no, I'm done. I can try one more. Oh, it's a little bit bigger. So 2,191 closed transactions through August. Interesting. We've got how many more days? Today's the 28th. So we've got 3 more days of August. What is that? So that's 8 months, right?
Right.
Divided by 21, you get about almost 300, right?
That was if it was 7.
About 2. Yeah, exactly. I just did the math in my head, and then I did it again and went, that was stupid.
Yeah, 21 divided by, we'll just say 8 is 273. That's not 300.
It's close to about what we've been tracking all year.
Yeah.
So you can see active listings have increased, pending sales have decreased. So those listings must be sitting just a little bit longer. We had 649, I think, last week. We were in the 500s, and we were in the high 3s with pending transactions. So the moral of this story, again, this week, which would be the same as every week, there's no bubble. Ain't no bubble.
There ain't no bubble.
Ain't no bubble happening.
No, because we had appreciation yesterday at 5%.
Right.
Which showed we're still going up, which is not a negative. We're just not going up as much as we used to go up, which we're going up the average that we normally go up.
Yeah, true.
Year over year over a 30-year period. So
I think it's nice to see that. It's going to be interesting. I read a couple articles about Powell saying there's going to be a definite shift in the interest rate, the overnight interest rate, and
oh my God, then we should wait.
Yeah, then we should wait. We talked about that yesterday. No, you shouldn't wait.
It's already built in right now.
Yeah, it's already built in. So do it now. Now you'll have those people who are waiting that will jump in on the 18th. Then you'll have competition. Right now you have maybe 1 or 2 people that you're competing against, but
if
later
that,
on,
because some of these are just sitting.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of inventory at a certain price point just sitting right now.
Yep.
And people who've been doing flips are like, okay, well, you got 6 of them, sell them.
Yes. Sell them now, please.
Yeah. Before you buy anything else.
Truth.
All right. So what I wanted to talk about is we're hearing a bunch about this, what's that thing she's trying to pass? Unrealized gains on
unrecognized gains.
Yeah, on stuff, and everybody's saying, well, it's only on people who have a family wealth or a business of $100 million. Blah blah blah. Well, in 1913, when they passed the 16th Amendment, there's this thing called the Robin Hood theory, where it's a steal from the rich, give to the poor. Back then, they told everybody, middle class and lower middle class, they sold them on the idea, hey, we're just going to tax the rich. Those nasty people who don't pay their fair share, they need to pay more. Right? Well, we don't pay. Well, that's okay. They'll just pay. Well, so they passed it. And then guess what happened? The rich got smart and said, hey, if we do corporations and if we do this, we don't have to pay those taxes.
Right.
And then so the coffers would start filling up, and then they were like, oh, now there's no money. Oh, I'm sorry, but now we're going to tax everybody. And that's exactly what's going to happen. So don't get into this whole, it's only the rich people are going to pay the taxes. Because I had an agent yesterday saying, sent me a thing. Oh, thanks for showing me something that really isn't going to affect. Not today. In a couple years, it could.
And it will affect them. I mean, So you got a net worth of 400, you make $400,000 or more a year. You're in real estate. You can do that easily. And,
Yeah, but it's not. That's 100 million. Is
huh?
what it's off of 100 million.
Well, and there's also talks about 400 people who make $400,000 or more, and they're going to be taxed as well on unrecognized gain, even though they're not selling their home. They're lying to you when you think you're sheltered and you're not going to be taxed. You're going to be taxed. Just bank your bottom dollar.
Well, just be careful. It should always be no new tax. I have no problem supporting certain programs and certain things, but we can't keep doing. They just passed. I don't know if you saw today. They just passed. Illegal aliens can now afford a home in California and get money for it through the Make Dreams Real program. And now, what about the people who actually live here and work here and do everything? But, the state's like, well, we have no money, so it doesn't matter anyway. It does matter.
It does matter. It does matter, especially if you got some money. Go back to Make Dreams Real. So that
hold on. No, it's not Make Dreams Real. It's a Dream for All.
Dream for All.
Keep talking about the golf tournament.
That's right. That actually does something.
Yeah, that
actually provides
$400,000 a year that goes into putting kids to camp.
Yeah, exactly. That actually accomplishes something.
Yes, and a bunch of other programs that it gives money out to.
Yeah. So what's it called?
It's called Shared Appreciation for those who have never owned a home before and their parents have never owned a home before.
So we had a new amount of money that came out earlier this year, correct?
Yeah.
I never thought about it again.
You had to be part of the lottery.
You're right. You had to be part of the lottery.
I actually had somebody call me about it and said, hey, we're in this and we're having a trouble with this. And I'm like, before you even move over to we start the process with me, even though I go figure out with that person, what's the guidelines going to be?
Right.
Finalize with them what they're saying. Don't run away because you think something's negative is going to happen. I said, if it does, then reach out to me.
Right.
But don't try to get me involved halfway through it. And then I'm telling you what to do. And next thing I know, you're closing with them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you did all the work.
Exactly.
But I mean, do we have numbers on how many people were able to buy a home this time? Because it was a considerable amount more money than before.
I don't even think about it because I deal with veterans a lot, and their family have owned homes usually, or somebody has, and they've not, so they can't be part of that.
The parameters were so tight that just very
nobody
few people
in the last 7 years of your parents could have owned a home.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Well, that's we want to change it. Great. But it should be for a level playing field for everybody.
No. That doesn't work.
Wait till these lawsuits come out. We're going to talk about with who we have. We have Duarte coming on the radio this weekend, and we're going to talk about the programs like the fair housing, how these with the new commission, the way people are doing it, could all be a ton of lawsuits because of fair housing, because it changes on every transaction and everything. Well, when somebody owns a piece of property, you can do whatever you want with it.
Right.
It's your property.
Right.
And that's why builders can do whatever they want with certain things and certain programs that other people couldn't do because they own the property.
Right. And it'll be interesting.
It's that golden rule thing. He has the gold, makes the rules.
That's true. My opinion, the NAR settlement is still a farce. And, there are quite a few state associations filing a lawsuit against NAR for the settlement. I don't think it's been filed yet, but I read something the other day that was talking about how many I think it's 6 or 7 states associations that were filing against the National Association of Realtors, basically for the under the bus throwing that we just experienced. My opinion. I mean, yeah, we were fighting this thing a long time and it was expensive, but really, did they have a case if you litigated correctly? I don't think
most
so.
people settle anyway, whether or not the people have a case, because it's cheaper now than it is to keep going.
Yeah.
I mean, let me tell you about my lawsuit for my land for the freaking easement. I mean, we're talking almost 20 grand.
Yeah.
And, I had originally said that they could use it and was trying to work on it that way, but, now they had to come this way.
Yeah. So
just be careful.
That's fun to spend that money.
No, it's not.
No,
it is not. Not when we are making a ton of money right now.
Yeah, we aren't. Well, and the other thing, I guess the litigators or the the people who were convinced to help file the class action lawsuit against NAR are seeing very little money compared to what the attorneys are seeing.
Of course, the attorneys got it.
Very little money.
They got to pay all their costs back first.
Yeah.
And then we split the residual.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why a lot of these people think they're going to get a ton of money at the end after. Well, the attorneys have to take their cut first. Then they split it up through all the class members. And if you thought you're getting 1.41 million, you're probably going to end up getting 300,000.
Well, they're not even getting that.
Well, I'm talking about the fire lawsuits.
Oh, those. Yeah, true. Anyway, I mean, it's comical. It's hurting a lot of people. I think the unforeseen consequence is going to be the buyer is still going to be thrown under the bus and going to be dealt the shorthand.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and again, until this gets to a normal, where it's normal, everybody's doing it a certain way.
Yeah.
It's causing a little slowdown.
Yeah.
And that because people don't know what to do or how to do it. And I don't have the money to pay the buyer side commission.
Yeah. And a lot of the real estate gurus are out there saying, guys, the answer to this is just get listings. You still need buyers.
Yeah.
You still need buyers if you're getting listings.
Yeah. I mean, because that's what I heard. Somebody was just taking all the listings they can for a certain dollar,
Yeah.
And there's such a compression of your guys' commission on the buyer side right now.
Right.
Because people don't know how to negotiate.
True. And
why don't you take some classes on negotiating and tell people why they should work with you as the buyer's agent and how you're going to get paid. There's ways to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people need to get back to understanding, yes, you're in real estate, but you're still a salesperson.
Yeah.
No, I'm a real estate agent. You're a freaking salesperson and deal with it.
Yeah, show your value.
Yeah, you got to show that. And people weren't used to that. They're like, I'm getting 2.5%, 3%. It doesn't matter.
What'd you do?
I took this buyer to many houses and showed him 40,000 of them. And now,
and then I handed it over to my TC and I didn't do anything else ever.
And that's the thing. You got to be careful when you go to a lawsuit on something like that. And the attorney and the judge goes, excuse me, real estate agent, how much money did you make on the transaction?
Yeah.
$15,000. How much did you work on it?
15,000 hours.
Yeah. Document is all I got to say.
Yeah. I heard a horror story yesterday, real quick. An agent got his broker's license because his dad gave him a business. And I guess it was his first transaction. And it was not far from where my inspector was doing an inspection. And I guess the person put the contract together, didn't explain anything to the buyers once it was together, didn't explain that the sellers had 3 days after the close of escrow to move out, didn't do most of the due diligence that he should be doing, did a walkthrough before the sellers moved out. So all the furnishings, all the carpets, all the rugs, everything was still there. And then the sellers move out. Have them sign the acceptance of the VIP verification of property. And said everything was okay. Sellers move, they get the keys, they walk in, where every rug was absolutely destroyed tile flooring. So another $25,000 to replace that flooring. Just abysmal.
Yeah, but they should have disclosed that.
Well, of course they didn't.
and he was the seller's agent.
He was the buyer's agent.
Right. So
it was you close escrow after the sellers move out. You make sure that everything's disclosed. So
I know, but it's really
two bad agents.
Right. But one, the seller knew what was underneath those rugs. They should have disclosed it. So that's a material fact.
Yeah.
That is right there is wrong, period. No matter what.
100%.
That needs to get resolved. So cut some money back and move on.
Yeah.
Sellers
I don't know what happened. It closed.
Yeah, but sellers need to do that because if they don't do that, it's cheaper for $25,000 than later 150 with all the other stuff.
All the other fees. Yeah. It closed in July. So we'll see what happens. So anyway,
whatever. You know that one on the Tully and Orangeburg?
I guess
it's pending. Is it closed yet?
I don't know. In fact, I drove by there yesterday and I meant to pay attention to see if the sign was still up, but then I got distracted.
Last I saw it was, but that was a few days ago. So
yeah.
Why don't we just check for me?
I will check.
All right. Everybody make it a great day. Thanks for being here. We really appreciate you. And thanks for watching. Thanks, Mike.
Bye, kids.
Talk to you all tomorrow.
Wonderful days.
Bye.
Bye.